Hi guys, and welcome to the No Debate Live. I'm
Hello
Richard
everyone.
Oliver,
I'm Jared Walters,
and in this episode we're going to discuss whether we are talking to demons.
Yep.
So,
Shall I begin?
yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Right, first of all, we want to give a massive thank you to Steve White and co at Strange But True Stories YouTube channel. Guys, honest to God, it's an amazing YouTube channel. If you like creepy stories and you like those sorts of things, anything strange, from ghosts to aliens, to time slips, to glitches in the Matrix, it is a fantastic channel. I can spend hours binge watching it. So last week I decided to submit the story of the Council of 12 and what happened to me and Sam, and then how we kind of got in touch with each other and sort of become friends, and so obviously leading up to the live streams of Now Investigations, which we did on this channel last year. We had a tremendous outpouring of people that were asking us questions in the comments. That video helped us to get the story out there to, you know, almost twice as many people that are on the channel, that were on the channel previously. So, and I've got to admit, I've put a video out there. There was kind of a reaction. Just after I watched it, I was completely overwhelmed. It was a fantastic video. I love the way Steve reads the stories, right?
Yeah, he's got a wicked voice.
He's just got that voice for it, and I kind of like sort of, he kind of like basically took the large majority of like different bits that I'd written, and it was like, I can't wait for this story for Steve to read that story. I was so over the moon with it, and you were over the moon with it, and but he actually used some of the responses as well, and it was absolutely tremendous. So I want to take just a moment to say thank you to Steve and everyone who works with him on Strange But True stories, and say thank you to all you guys that have found us welcome, and thank you for all your feedback. Thank you, even the people who commented on the video Steve put out, which is kind of one of the things we want to address here today, because it is a really, you know, it is a really interesting question. And you know, there was it wasn't the fact that like when there were a few people on there which said, right, it's demons, and that's the end of it, but then people were also giving us like different things to look into. Like, we had such a wealth of things to actually research. Like, there's a video that's going to be coming out that's not the next, it's going to be 3 videos time, which is from our original Now Investigation. There's a video on the channel at the moment which talks about Heaven's Gate. And there was one comment on that channel that said, look into Brother 12. Now, I knew nothing about Brother 12. I'm only now starting to look into it, and it kind of like that helped us sort of decipher what was happening and sort of give us a bit of an idea of what was going on. So literally, you know, the feedback that we've had on Steve's channel and on our channel is absolutely tremendous, and we were I'm honest to God so grateful for the work that he did on our behalf. And if as I said, if there's any way we can repay you guys, it's Strange But True, and you only have to ask, honest to God. So the question tonight is, are we actually communicating with demons? Are they actually star beings, or are they some sort of extra dimensional? Are they evil? You know, are they are valid. It is a valid question. You know, and
I mean, well, it is a valid question, but I've got a bit of an issue with it, as you know, Joe.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm a psychic medium.
Yeah.
And I have come across this for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And I've never...
I'm a psychic medium too.
Yeah.
Just a large version.
But yeah, I mean, it is an interesting question.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the study I've done on the Bible and different things like that, and well, different religions altogether, and what we've done in our work as paranormal investigators, coming across evil.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on it?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say welcome to Amanda and welcome to Tracy, who's watching on the chat. You might have to see me lean over to the computer just to check the chat, guys. I know it doesn't look the greatest on camera, but my eyesight does not work that good. So I do apologise for that. Can you hear us okay? Can you let us know if you can hear us okay? I know the last week's episode we done was, the audio was, well, crap, to be honest. And that was a problem on my computer. This is the thing. Right, you've always said this to me. Whenever you're communicating with anything, right, whether you're communicating psychically, whether you're communicating through these devices, you never 100% know, right? There is always that element of doubt, right? There's always got to be that element of doubt, because
there's got to be.
If there wasn't that element of doubt, then you wouldn't question it. And now, on last week's episode, there's a new episode of Now Investigations coming out. Probably going to be tomorrow now. It's actually done. But it's going to contain the responses, some of the responses at least, from last week's Now debate. Because of the important nature of what we were talking about. Which very few people actually heard us.
Yeah, I know. I did have a few comments about that.
Yeah, and you know, fair enough. Again, it's where you guys are really helpful to us. We're quite new to this, to be honest with you. So we are kind of winging it, I suppose, as regards to like going live and YouTube and that sort of thing. We've only ever done it, about 8 or 9 times. Well, yeah, eight. About 10. That was the 10th time we've done it. And it's not so bad on Now Investigations, because you expect you want the mic near the but obviously as we're talking on camera like this live, it is a little bit more difficult, because we obviously the attention's on us, not on the box. But there's always that element of doubt, and the question is, right, this is the question, whatever you are communicating with, this is why we take a sort of research approach and try not to take it as much to heart, because if whatever you're communicating with, I've always found easier to treat it as a consciousness. So if it's a consciousness, then it may as well be a person, right? Regardless of whether it's good, evil, grey, whatever it is. So if it's saying something you agree with, right, and you kind of agreed with anyway, or it's like a friend saying to you, well, look into so-and-so, so-and-so, look into this researcher, look into that researcher, look into this, look into that, then if I agree with it, fine. I will tell you why I agree with it. I might even put, if it's something I become passionate about, I might even put that evidence forward. But if I disagree with it, I don't care who I'm talking to, I will tell them I disagree with it. There's 2 things, first off, that I do disagree with, have happened lately. I don't like being, they refer to, I don't think it's just us. I think they refer to people that are like sort of channeling these beings as prophets, and I don't like that. I just want to be known as an average Joe. Like, I don't want anyone to follow the work and follow the message, fine, but I don't want anyone to sort of like follow me. Because at the end of the day, I'm as fallible, if not more so, as anyone else. And for God's sake, I can't bloody see. I can't even, and I do this because it's a passion of mine. I do the videos first and foremost looking at and communicate with you guys because it makes me feel good. I do it because I'm passionate about it. So I don't kind of like, that's the 2 things I do kind of have issue with. And you'll see me on several videos when it's happened and I've heard it. There's one which will not be coming out for a while yet, but there's one that we did in Llandaff and I heard it whilst we're doing a cross-in session. And it says it, and I'm like, please don't call me that. I'm just an average Joe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That, to me, it's a case of, the way I'm viewing it is to put the evidence forward, because even if it was demons, it's still saying something quite compelling, and that's why you sort of put it out. There's several issues I have with it, for the simple fact that I have questions. For a start, I have probably done more Bible research in the last 3 months than I have done in my entire lifetime. It's changed my view slightly on it. I have a problem with some of the text. I don't associate with religion as a personal preference. Spirituality, yes, but even spiritualism. I'm a medium, and I don't want nothing to do with spiritualism, because I just don't like the way religion is used as a control mechanism, or at least that's the way I view it. But if someone finds faith in that, right? If someone finds faith in that in that community, right? If someone sort of gets something from going to church and being as part of that community, then who am I? If that faith and belief gives them strength, and the stuff that we are putting out challenges that, right? Then who am I to have an issue with it? Because if I have an issue with it, then I've got to be open-minded. At the end of the day, that's why I always say, we've said it before, we're 3 grown men talking to aliens through a box. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way you've got to kind of look at it in that kind of sense. It's like, at the end of the day, it's not for me to judge that person. It's not for me to... I don't get me wrong, I got slightly irritated because it felt like, well, no one's really answering my questions then. Right, everything that's come through it has been empowering, even when we felt it's negative. I've actually gone through it, and is there some points...
I feel it's negative more than anyone else.
Yeah.
I'm the one that you guys say, Rich, and I'm...
Loosen up, like.
Yeah, I think for me more, I think it's because I've dealt with it longer, and I've dealt with the negative stuff longer, and I've seen the tricks it can pull, like. Yeah. So, that's why I'm so cautious with it.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you, it has negative entities and negative spirits. It's something we do research because you have to know, because we have encountered people when we've done cases that have had these problems, that have had these entities in their house. And, we did, after we had that initial encounter, we did have something negative in the house, and I know how that feels. I know how it feels to have something that messes with your head, it messes with your thoughts, it makes you continuously depressed. I don't get that from this. I feel empowered, I feel invigorated, I feel like I want to find out more. I want to, it's pointing me in the direction. It's been a research aid, if nothing else.
Well, for me, it's been a couple of times where it's been a bit ropey.
Yeah.
The thing is, we getting lots of messages from people saying it's demons, it's this, it's that, right? And I've had this in my mediumship where I give a young girl a reading. I was trying to sort myself out. I was in a bank, and I give her a reading, and she said, "I'm a Christian. That's the devil."
Yeah.
She said, "That's the devil's work," and I said, "Look," I said, "it's just your nan." She knew the lady, she knew the name because her face was a picture.
Yeah.
I said, "She just wants to tell you she just passed a course. She's really proud of you because it's been a big struggle with work, and she loves you and she's okay." And that was exactly the message I give. And I couldn't understand why she would think that any evil entity would say that her nan was in God's care, loved her, and was proud of her.
Yeah.
And she couldn't see past it.
Yeah.
And it was something I was warned about when I was learning to develop. And it's been the same since. Because to me, I worked with, when I did security, I worked with every religious type of person in the world, right?
Yeah.
All different backgrounds, all different types of religions. And some of the things they would come up with to me, was so negative, and dark, and from a really dark place, right?
Yeah.
Because my version of like studying the things like Jesus said and the things that's in the Bible, the things, if you take out what you know is written by man, and you take out the little messages that are coming from a place of love, which is the real message, is a completely different thing. And unfortunately, they take these things that were written like that, and they just act on them so blindly. And it's like I struggle with their beliefs.
This is my problem with organised religion. It's not the belief. That it's not the actual text, although the texts were manipulated. You only got to look into the history of Christianity. Things like the Crusades, and
look at the Old Testament. If you're going to look into the Bible, go to the Old Testament.
Exactly. Look into that. There are several examples there where, if you read sort of what God is saying, he sounds like egomaniacal. He just sounds as if he's on a massive ego trip, and you think to yourself, well, actually, that sounds like the other guy. Do you know what I mean? Any encounter that I've had with higher beings, whether it's angels, that was the other question I asked. Was like, there's one session, and it's on the channel, where we asked him to identify. We got pictures of 3 angels. We had Michael, Raphael, and Uriel, and we said, "Can you identify these angels?" It's mentioned Jesus Christ on several occasions. It's obviously mentioned the apostles. It's mentioned. But it's not just mentioned Christianity. There's bits where it's mentioned sort of ancient Chinese myths. I know it's mentioned some stuff to do with Islam, because it comes through on it was the first one we did, and we are actually going to gradually do episodes now that take each bit of what's said and do the research on it and sort of present the research. But this is the thing. I want the same out of our channel. I don't want anyone to take our word for it.
No.
This is
form
what
your own opinion.
Form your own opinion, but do your own research. It's like maybe the stuff might point you in the right, not in the right direction, might point you in a direction. Some of the videos we put out, especially the one that's going out tomorrow, is we might find there's a divide on that of opinion. I am a little bit nervous because I don't want people to get. It's going to deal with a very controversial issue. The idea of war, but
go on. Sorry.
The information that I have found it in the public domain. It's not a case of I've just taken it from this source and that source and this source. I've looked into multiple sources and tried to go back to the raw material to sort of point people in the right direction, because this is the thing, and I think this is what they are also trying to give us, is to say that we need to sort of, there's nothing wrong with these stories. It's the control that, for me, and this is for me personally, it's the control that people have placed on it. And it, I think a lot of these sessions have gone into why that's happened. Where, as above, so below. What happens, they talk about the awakening. There's so many things on the net about talking about awakening, but awakening starts from within. It starts from you questioning and sort of doubting nothing, questioning everything. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the kind of idea that I've sort of come about that. And to be honest with you, I've probably had a lot more respect for these people if they did, I believe they did exist on some level. Maybe the way it's written, maybe the way it's not. I'm not sure. I like to keep an open mind, but I do believe that for a person that basically found this sort of spiritual truth and was crucified for it, what does that say about us? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, for me, when it comes to things, I mean, I wear a cross, right? I've always done that.
Yeah.
Right? I wear a crucifix. I got them in my ears. I got them on my bracelet. I wear them as a necklace. Because when I looked into religion, right?
Yeah.
I looked at the message, like things like Jesus said, "Love thy enemy." Because if you only love your friend, where's the reward in that?
Yeah.
Like, there's little things like that. I thought, I like that says. That just suits me. That's something spiritual, it's beautiful, it's wise, it's got everything I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of it I can't get into my head, right?
Yeah.
But that's the things, that message, it's like, if for example, right, say we're supposed to be talking to ETs, if they come down now, landed in the garden, said, yeah, look, guys, it was us, right?
Yeah.
It was us that did this, it was us that put you on Earth, it was us that did that, right? We haven't found God, we've travelled the universe. That's still going to knock my faith. And there's somebody who they say, it could have been his name, Joshua, right?
Yeah.
It could have been the story, it's obviously been embellished, right? It doesn't take away that message.
No, it doesn't. I just want to refer to a message from Gina on the chat in Hyphen, Texas. Gina, thank you for joining us. She mentions religion should be... I'll read it out. I'm sorry if this doesn't look that good on camera. Gina says, religion is just another way to bring people to the source. It's whatever awakens you by whatever means that helps the individual. Now, that is what it should be. That's what it should be. Whether it is that, do you know what? I would probably say on a large majority, to a point, people are becoming more open-minded.
It should be a guide, not an instruction.
Yes, absolutely. Because that's the thing, that's the thing, how do you expand yourself if you're just constricting yourself? Like the text to the Bible, I think there's like 47 Gospels, and there's only 4 in the Bible. You've got there's so many books that have been taken out of it. Book of Enoch. There's even a Gospel of Judas. But this is the thing. It's amazing, right, that these texts were written in the first place, right, and have survived so long. That alone says something about it. That alone says something about the fact that these things were, written and have survived the test of time. But this is the thing, there's so many different cultures around the world. Not all those cultures are going to view the world in the same way, and therefore that message has to be given in a way that's going to appeal to that type of person. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like this. I've talked to loads of people over the years, right, and I've had some crazy debates, right, and like I've said, I've worked with some religious people, but it's the fact that you got born again Christians, and they say if you don't worship Jesus, you're doomed. You're going to hell, right? Now, in any stretch of my mind, I can't, and I'm not knocking him for it, but I can't see that guy, right, that went through all the things he went through, if he went through them, right, would say, well, it's either my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Right? I just can't imagine. That's not a spiritual teacher. That's not someone that would be, somebody who would be spiritual, would understand there's people that's never going to hear about him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be new people, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I need to find out for myself.
Yeah.
And if they find out, and he's not looking for that, he's not looking for worship.
Yeah.
Or you have to, be his servant. You have to listen to what he's saying, try it, live your life by it. You might find it works. That's what the guy would say. If he was stood before you, I believe it in my heart, after all these little messages I've looked into, that's what he'd say. He'd say, well, if it's not work for you, try this.
Yeah. Going back to the original thing about this being demons. Now, I don't have a great deal of experience with the actual theory of demonology. It's something I'm starting to look into now. And there's some brilliant sort of researchers and things out there, and it's sort of looking into the concepts of it. And I know that but I find that I never believed they existed. Never believed they existed, to be honest with you. I even say in I think it's episode 3, which is the one about me and Sam, I even say I didn't believe in aliens, but I didn't want nothing to do with ufology. I didn't find it captivating. It didn't spark my interest. I was happy with the idea of just like talking spirits of the dead back at that time, and I never really got the guy who actually sort of got me into this. I remember him saying, "Do you actually believe in the devil, in demons then?" And I said, no. I said, well, he said, at the end of the day, if there's a light side, there's got to be a dark side, because there has to be a balance. And I said, well, yeah, but isn't that like just the negative side of people? And he was like, it could be, but it could be, you know, it could be a manifestation of something else. But what is a demon? Is it something that lives on a different plane, a lower plane of existence? Is it something that we've created over time? Is it there's so many sort of different sort of theories and different things about them. Is it all of them? Are they extraterrestrial? Are they just basically like aliens that feed off energy of suffering as a food source, and can sort of have some sort of device with it out of flux, and can literally just walk through walls or something? You know, this is the thing I find really sort of intriguing about it, because we've been told there's definitely these things that have influence on Earth, and we know that there's negative energies, negative attachments that people have, and you know, 90% of people who have them don't even realise they have them, and it's so but it's so easy to sort of remove it. And we've done it on cases and that sort of thing, and you know, we've seen dramatic changes and dramatic shifts in people, and then we've seen ones that have actually caused some real harm. You know, literally sort of caused physical things to happen to people. And we've seen that with our own eyes, and we've seen use different techniques. We've used there's one where there was a person that was being sort of scrammed, and we used a singing bowl, and it stopped literally there and then. And we had someone else who was being taken over by something negative, and it was literally the only thing that would bring him back was reciting the Lord's Prayer. But there's other, so there's different. So my feeling is with these things, they work on like a thought level, or they work on an energetic level. Do they have a physical form? Maybe, maybe not. But they work on that kind of level. So the higher your vibration, the higher you feel, the better that you feel. And this doesn't mean you have to go around sort of all happy and lally and doolally and all the rest of it. You just sort of, it's a bit like the more balanced you are, the more sort of, the less that these things can affect you. Yeah. And I'd say over the last sort of year, we've sort of I've definitely been, the last 5 years, I've been on an incredible journey, and there have been times I've literally been down there, and there have been times I've been up there, and but I wouldn't change a thing because of where it's led me. I wouldn't change a thing because that's where this journey has led me, and at the end of the day, I'm a better person for. It's a bit like that guy out of Star Trek 5, isn't it? I can take your pain away. And Kirk turns around and says, no, I need my pain. My pain makes me who I am. My pain has taught me. The difference is you can have a respect for pain. There's a difference between experiencing pain and experiencing suffering. Because suffering is prolonged. Once you understand that you have to address the balance of whatever brings you pain. There's a brilliant interview that we did on our Awakening Now channel, which I'll put a link in the description after this video goes up live. There's a brilliant interview I did with a lady called Lorraine Cohen, and it went out last night, and she was she's been a healer for about 30 years or so, and she was diagnosed with cancer back in 2012, and she said, I was in a place where I could see it as an opportunity to heal. And I just, if you listen to my voice in it, I'm completely thrown. Like, I think I can talk quite fluidly and hopefully get my point across on camera. But in that interview, I'm like a bumbling idiot because it completely and utterly threw me. Because my experience of that sort of suffering and knowing people that have been through it, my especially devastating and terminal diseases. My father was a transplant patient. I've had a history of heart problems in the family. My brother was lost to the same thing as eventually what took my father, and so I've been through that pain. I've been through that sort of that suffering. And, to actually see someone have that sort of response to it and take me on that journey of where it took them. And don't get me wrong, there were times that they felt bloody dreadful, and you know, they've been through something really harsh. But to come out the other side of that, or at least be on the mend from it, and have that viewpoint, just completely blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this journey, isn't it? I mean, it's like we've been putting out their messages of love, right? And that's what we're putting out. And we've been honest. We're saying we don't know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
We don't really know, right? But it is a message of love, hope, prosperity, our future. It's positive. It's got everything we're looking for in it.
And all it's doing is asking us to look into this stuff.
Yeah, and look within ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's people going on there going, demons. They're not giving it a thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we are spreading the word of love. We're not saying anything else. It's just think, really think about what something like that would have to gain. Because my experience of evil, and I'm on about in people, and on an energy level, is completely it's quite something. And it's not even in the same. It's not like the yin and yang. It's such opposites. Yeah. So, that's just my thoughts. It is such an opposite thing. It's doing exactly the opposite of what we are being told and what we are putting out there in our videos.
Like, this is the thing. If it was to deceive us, right? If it was saying good things just to sort of deceive us. Now, I suppose there's some bits in there that could, I suppose. Or it could be to get us to put a message out to deceive you guys, to deceive our audience. Again, we don't know. But this is where it's our responsibility then, as it is, just for the information that we have had, whether or not, you've got 10 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 10 million subscribers, right? It's our responsibility to put that information across in a responsible way that asks people to think and asks, if you're watching this video, don't take our word for it, and it's not saying we're not taking, we are responsible for putting that information out there, but I won't put anything out there I can't back up. If it's led me to a dead end, a video doesn't get made from it. It's as simple as that. They have mentioned about something happening in May. Now, it could be the fact, and we've said this again before, it could be something happens with us, right? And they're talking about it in regards to us. That looks like a possibility, especially the way the channel has blown up this week, and we've got plenty of other articles and different things. This story is going up. So perhaps that's what they're talking about. You know what I mean? This is why I've said, and I said it, made sure it was on that video that went out on Steve's channel, was I don't want to scaremonger. I don't want to be one of those people that we just had one just now with that voicemail, right? I said that someone linked it to something about Stephen Hawking. April 18th, the world is going to end. 2012, the world's going to end. September 25th, 2005. I think people are getting the message wrong, and this is where that comment, and I said to you in that conversation about Brother 12, was so helpful because I can see now what the message was, why you bring up things like Heaven's Gate, because...
Think of this, it's said that, right, since the millennium, the world is going to end. Yeah. Right? Has anything remotely on a global level changed because of that? Right? This is a big thing to look inwardly now. Like, this is for the guys out there, if you get this message. You just think, what can I do about it? I've had so many people saying that to me. If the world was going to end, what can I do about it? We can do something. Yeah. You're not going to sit there and let the world be destroyed around you. Yeah. If you are, there's a problem.
But then you say that, right, as the world changed, right? And we're going to put this out in our video tomorrow, right? Look at what we did in Now Debate on last week, and they did the airstrikes and stuff, right? Look at all the polls and stuff that's come out. And it's like less than 30% of people in the UK supported those airstrikes. And you compare that to 2003, what happened when you... and the amount of people now, the media are having to cut people off for saying...
I know.
For asking those questions, because people are turning around and going, hang on, you've done this before. Where's the evidence? Now, we didn't... There were people who did do that in 2003, yes. But we didn't have the way of spreading the word that we do now. We didn't have the way of having the conversation as much. I know people around me, including myself. I just took their word for it. I was like, well, he's bad, man. Let's just send some bombs in and...
No, don't get me wrong. I don't mean it's the world's not awakening, because we've got a new channel called The Awakening now. And we are seeing people starting to go on about we're not accepting it.
Yeah.
Right? But what I mean is, if you're out there and you just think, oh, what can I do? That's when you need to go, whoa,
well, what can I do?
What can I do?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't trying to say the world's never changed. What I mean was,
yeah.
if that's how you feel, there's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at the world and everything you look at, and this is what will happen when you start to awaken. When you start to go out there, you start to question things. Everything you perceive will change.
Yeah.
You'll start to think, wait, they lied about that. This one story, this another story. This is the news. They should have the story right on all channels.
Yeah.
Right? There shouldn't be this problem. If they,
yeah.
You know, it's like we call people conspiracy nuts, right? If the world wasn't the way it was, and we were told the truth, it wouldn't be conspiracy.
Exactly. Well, the idea conspiracy theorist was coined basically by the CIA to play down the Kennedy assassination. I've actually it's mad because you say that when you have a moment, when you think like that. I actually remember the first time I ever thought like that, right? One thing I find fascinating, and we're starting to see it with The Awakening now, right? With that channel, and there is going to be more going up on that channel, probably more than Paranormal now, because we're going to be doing like different insights and different things and focus on different topics, and because it's easier for us to do a video for just us talking, like with the Paranormal, you've got to make sure you present the evidence, you've got to go through, so there's a lot more creativity and there's a lot more sort of work that goes into the Paranormal Now videos. With The Awakening now, it's our outlet to sort of communicate our thoughts and have a discussion and have fun with it and sort of talk to different people and to learn ourselves. It's our way of sort of communicating and learning, communicating what we know, and hopefully that will help others, but also learning from other people as well, that come from different backgrounds, have different beliefs and that sort of thing. It's a conversation channel. That's the kind of point of Awakening Now. But I remember when I had that moment, when I was I had my initial sort of psychic awakening or spiritual awakening, because not everyone will have it the way that I did. I had it through my gift, through my clairvoyance, through my mediumship. People who choose to, it'll happen through that way. Right, but I know just because you're psychic doesn't make you spiritual. No. I know some people who are gifted spiritually or clairvoyantly that are probably as furthest away from spiritual I could ever have I could ever conceived of. But that being said, now there are people that have I can't remember the guy's name, but I know there's one guy. I know Ian Crane has mentioned him a few times, where he's a police officer. He was like one of the big terrorism officers, and he got asked to. I'll put his name in the description below if I can find it. He got asked if he could do a report on the biggest threat to UK after the 7/7 bombings, and he basically turned. Through the research he did, he realised that the greatest threat to the UK was the UK establishment. And from that, he basically ended up sort of presenting that in his report, ended up being dismissed, went through a huge sort of tribunal over it. But that was his awakening experience. This is why I'm saying you can't judge, because people are on that journey. They're there for a reason. They're on that journey for a reason. We can give our opinions, yes, of course, but at the end of the day, you know, it's down to that person whether or not, you know, they take it from. I'll give you an example. The video that you did with interview with Carlos, and how the film The Secret changed his life. I absolutely despise that film. I find it harmful. I thought, you know, I honestly, until I heard the story of what happened to him, I thought that story was quite harmful. You know, it wasn't until you told me about what happened to him, and around the time it happened, I actually went back and looked at that film and thought, yeah, maybe there's something to it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe it was, you know, I've had my own sort of, within us, this sort of belief system, have had those problems. But I remember that moment where I'd had this awakening kind of experience. I had the initial sort of fireworks effects, and I had everything in my life. Within 3 months, everything in my life just literally just went, whoop, and the rug was pulled out from underneath me. And I remember having a dream where I was in like this school area, right? And at the time of me having this thought, this experience, I was reading a book by Dr. Michael Newton called Destiny of Souls. I already read the first one, it's called Journey of Souls. I guess a diagram of like certain places he's found in the spirit world, right? And the diagram in that book was exactly where I was in the dream. And it was about 3 months prior to reading that book. I was in this school, in a dream environment. I was in this school, and this woman comes up and says, by the time of your birthday, you will be with the couple. I thought, with the couple? Back, she said, you'll be back home. She said, you've got a number, you need to sort it out. And she had a newspaper in this dream, and she just whacked me across the head with it. She just done the old 1-2, like, with it, right? And I lost my job in March. I thought I was going to get kept on, but I lost the job. The main social outlet I had at the time, which is a band I was managing, completely let me fell through the floor. And then I had sort of that dream experience. I had no money, so I couldn't really go anywhere. I couldn't get a job for love nor money. And I went up to the job centre, spent about half an hour at the job centre sort of doing job centre-y things, come back, tried my door, and the bloody locks had been changed. We'd been evicted. So, literally, and it was like something around about like 3 or 4 days before my birthday. The only place I could go back was back home with my parents. And I remember about 2 or 3 weeks after, I was depressed as hell, and I was lying in bed, and I was about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I just couldn't be asked to do anything, couldn't be asked to apply for jobs. I felt really crap about myself because I should be. I didn't want to be back home. I didn't want to be relying on mum and dad. You know, I was like 24, 25 at that point. And I was like 25 years old. I got no job. You know, got no money. Got nothing. What have I done with my life? And something just went click. And I thought, hang on. I'm 25 years old. Or I might be 26. I've had my own business. I've worked in different jobs. I've had this, I've had that. And it actually dawned on me how much I'd actually done in my life. And from that moment on, when I look back, that is when I started to really sort of start looking into the different experiences I was having, start to talk to people, reach out, communicate with people, and start to try to understand it. And you know, I've had that experience, and this is the thing. It's just that's what we want to do with these videos and with this channel and the other channel is just put that information out there, and not to convince anyone, but if someone's drawn to it, perhaps it can help those people, and that's what I think these responses are doing.
Well, I mean, mine was a little bit different to that mine experience. Like, do you know what I mean? Mine was a bit dramatic, my awakening experience, but I mean, it's going to be different for everyone. Yeah. But when it happens, it's not something everybody should fear. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I know a couple of people, it's a deep old rabbit hole, and they've gone down there, and they've fallen. I'm not going to say they haven't, because they have. But how they feel about it now, it can be frustrating, because you feel sometimes like it's nothing you can do, but you've got all this knowledge in your head. and you feel differently. You see the world and the way it's going about things, and you're thinking, for God's sake, what are you doing, like?
That's the second time you've nearly sworn.
I know, I need to smoke again. And I try my best, and it's like, it is so frustrating sometimes. I mean, it is for me, but we are still trying to get the message out there.
Yeah.
And if it's like anything, it's like when we do investigations, right? It's like that time we did the investigation. It was a couple of years ago. We did about 109 cases in a year, and I had actually 4 people say thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Now most people would have gone, oh, and that was, that's all for free. That's how, it's my money, right, on fuel and whatnot. It's my time. Yeah. And I was like, I sat back, and for a second I almost thought, well, but then I watched the people I dealt progress.
Yeah.
And not improve, but find themselves.
Yes.
And that was such a reward. Even I didn't have thanks. That was, to me, that was such a reward. And I can remember that. Because it's up with the awakening, I find it's up and down, Jar.
Absolutely.
It's like you're there. Yeah. You're there.
Yeah.
1 minute you're on cloud 9.
Yeah.
And you think, I want to be a tree. I am one with the universe. And then you're like, the universe can do one.
Well, that's the thing, right?
It is like that, though, isn't it?
People associate it with a transcendental experience, right? But you do have these transcendental experiences. You do have... I remember having a friend who was a Christian. He was a good friend, very articulate, very intelligent. And I said to him, but why do you believe in God then? I said, well, he said, I rebelled against it. He said, because I was brought up with it and all the rest of it. And he said, I went to this church one time and I just had this feeling God loved me. And he said, that was enough for him. He said, anything else can just do one. He said, but that was enough. He said, I knew that's where my place was. And, there have been conversations I've had with different people, different religions. I remember having a conversation with an optician once. And again, she was a Christian, and she was like, it was absolutely incredible. I was having this eye test, and I was having these bloody needly type things stuck in my eyes, and it was awful, right? And I had this this woman said to me, so are you religious? So, because you had to do the test and stuff like this, and so I'm sat there with my head on this bloody stand thing, these needles in my eyes, looking at this thing, and she said, are you religious then? I'm like, trying to explain to her the fact I'm in a little bit of pain and discomfort. And I said, well, I get the idea of it, I can get why people believe it. I'm not so sure, all the rest of it. It's back in 2009. Not long, actually, probably around about the same time as the experience I just told you about. I said, certain things I don't get, I don't understand why people think God made the world in 7 days. And she said, so you have problems with that sort of side of it? I said, yeah. I said, how can, there's science, one word for that, dinosaurs. Do you know what I mean? She said, let me ask you one question. I said, go on. And she said, how long was each day? And I just went, whoop. I was like, okay. And that's the thing. That's where you've got to kind of look outside the box and sort of, I personally believe there was one knowledge. There was, every sort of religions really have got this sort of Garden of Eden story, or this fall from grace story,
Noah story,
the fall from paradise sort of story, which I believe that perhaps that we living on a planet that's 4.5 billion years old or something. And we've been around for, Homo sapiens probably been around for 250,000 years. It's well, it's like a day out of it's like a day out of a lifetime, basically. Yeah.
Well, we could have evolved, left the planet, come back. I think it's something like 485 times or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah,
literally
left.
It's
like anything now, apart from the pyramids and some of these ancient monoliths, has probably lasted thousands of years. I think it's like 2,400 the official version is that they've been around for. Like anything man-made now in the 20th century, if humans just want to get whoop off the planet, the only thing that would be left of us in 800 years' time would be remnants of the Hoover Dam. And it would be so unrecognisable, you wouldn't even know what it was. And yet these things have, you know, these texts, these monoliths, these buildings, these, you know, look at all these, not just like with Christianity, look at all the megaliths and monoliths, especially in the UK. You've got those dolmens that have been around for God knows how long. You know, these massive stones that have been put on, you know, 2 other sort of massive stones. These sort of megaliths that are around places like Malta and sort of Avebury and places like that have been around for good centuries. That have lasted. So there, I think there has been a bit of a fall from grace, essentially, as far as the story of humanity is concerned. And I think that fall from grace happened a lot further. You know, I would put money on the fact that the Jesus story, then the actual story that sparked it, or has is essentially probably a lot older than 2,000 years. It's probably, you know, it's a story that's evolved through time. Do you know what I mean? You know, whether the fact of what the story that we read now is the actual original sort of story, or whether that story's evolved and been taken from like parts of like things that might have happened in the past, I don't know. You know, this is the thing. Everything that we experience, you know, the past is just a story. Tomorrow's just a dream.
I'm more inclined, from the research I've done and how I feel, I'm more inclined to think he was a real guy. Right? And for what he did, what he went through, he earned the right to be super spiritual. And maybe have a presence in the world of spirit. Right?
Yeah.
I think he earned that right. So, that's just but that's, you know, like I said, if he's come down and said, no, we put Jesus, it still doesn't take the fact away that the story appeals to me.
Yeah.
Whatever the story was, whatever the outcome, whatever it was, if it said it was made up, I still like the message in it.
Yeah.
I'll still try and live my life like that. So that's all you got to believe in. So when you get, no, that's the story, this is the person, everyone else must burn in hell, when you get to there, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
You're not listening to the story. You've just completely skimmed over the top.
Right. I believe now time is cracking on, and I do want to do.
How long have we been going in?
I have no idea. I don't know how you check it, to be honest with you. As I said, I'm very novice on this. We've been going for 52 minutes.
Wow.
So, and we do want to do a session. So, I think it would be a good idea. I've started the SCD2 up. That's why I was like messing around a couple of minutes ago. Do you want to do a quick opening prayer, and then we'll do an ask out to any spirit or any being that wants to communicate with us of light and love?
Well, I did the prayer last time. I think you should do the prayer this time.
Okay. We ask the Divine Creator, the Great Spirit, our guides, our loved ones, and those that have messages of light and love, and our best interest at heart for us and all those watching, to come around us now. We send out the intent of love to communicate with the unseen world. We're going to use 2 devices tonight to communicate with you. And we'd just like to ask that we are kept safe, protected, and those that are watching and those that will watch this video are also kept safe and protected. We ask this in the name of love. So may it be.
Amen.
Right. Should we do SCD2 and then should we try our new one?
Yeah.
We've got a new app. We're going to be doing a couple of live streams as well at some point. We're going to try different apps. Because that's one of the things that comes through last week. So let's see what we got. Hopefully the battery's going to be working better today, so it's going to be a bit louder. Bring the pitch
Can you change the sweep speed on it, Jack?
You can't, no. Okay. So I'm going to put that. Well, that was a grumble. Still a bit. Oh, there we
The
go.
volume's really low.
Where's the volume?
That's the volume there, Jack.
Right.
From school this way.
I think it's the other way.
Over there on the playground. This is the first.
Keep going. No, that's still low. You can go all the way around, I think.
Friends don't let friends drive smoke. Say goodbye. Bye. Through the shadows of the city.
My voice. It's done that. It's mimicked our voices.
Is that because it's going through the internet in real life?
I don't know. I didn't say bye. Calling out to the beings and spirits of light and love that wish to communicate with us.
Try and turn it around this way, Jack. See if that's the volume back. Because there's no direction on it. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is a bit. That's better. The hell is a dog barking in that? Yeah, a dog barking. Yeah, it was like, oh, 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 oh. If you're on the chat, if you can let us know if you can hear the device, please. I'd be very, very grateful. It's very quiet tonight.
We're calling the beings of light and love. Can you come forward and communicate with us, please? We're looking.
Bring the pitch up a little bit.
Ace, I could tell. Tell me, Blue.
Before we did this video, we did a test recording both of us singing I'm Blue by Eiffel 65. Thank you, Gina.
What's that?
I asked if everyone could hear us.
Yeah.
Call out the beings of light and love. Do you have a message for us? Any spirits of light and love connected to...
Take him away.
Take them away. So is there any spirits of light and love? Jonathan, if you want to communicate with us.
Walk away. What do you want to...
Virginia.
Don't continue.
Park every day.
What's Barack Obama on it? Blue.
Yeah, I know.
What do you want us to walk away from? What do you want us to...
Even if we could get out of this room.
Even could...
Do you want us to stop doing this? Stop recording? Stop the SCD2?
Malaria. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say exactly, did I?
Yeah, I said yeah, exactly.
Hey, I found something. Don't touch.
Yeah, I found something.
Don't touch.
Cover these two rooms to...
Do you want to communicate with us tonight? Can you tell us yes or no, please?
What's it about?
Who is with us? Can you tell us your name? Tell us who you are.
All right.
There's 1,000 of them, the whole...
There's 1,000 of them. Are you talking about spirits?
Let's find out the name. See if we can get their name, please.
Sector. Robert, welcome to...
Robert something.
I
am
Robert? Are we talking to a Robert?
JPL.
JPL. Are we talking to spirits that are grounded? Are we talking to spirits that are grounded, please? Alright. What I'm going to do, before we finish, we'll draw this one to a close. We'll keep it as a short one.
Seem
Damn machine.
Oh.
Christopher.
let us get back to the radio.
I was going
Yeah,
to...
let's get back to the radio.
Hmm.
That's what she said. Let us get back to the radio.
Because I was going to just open up to do a crossing to ask if there's any spirits that need to cross over.
Let's ask it. Is there any spirits or beings with us that need to cross over?
To the light? Yes.
Sorry, can you say that again? Is there spirits that need our help to cross over?
stay in business permanently.
Show business permanently.
A mighty good man for you.
Alright.
I took the kids out to...
If there are any spirits around us, around here, that do want to go to the light, what I want you to do is focus on your heart area. Focus on those you love. And focus on what you believe to be God. Doesn't have to be any sort of concept, that any religious concept, or it can be. It's up to you. It's what you believe created you. See that light growing inside you.
Captain Gates.
See a doorway opening in front of you. Behind that doorway is a light.
Paper, $300.
So?
So,
See that light behind the doorway?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you. You'll see the ones you love come through this doorway. You'll feel that light inside of you.
He came home last night.
Link into the light of source. Source of all creation.
Oh.
And you'll understand every pain that's been holding you back. And know that there's no pain moving forward. You aware of anything, Rich?
I can sense a female energy, but this. I'm trying to imagine the door on the outside.
Yeah.
Just trying to imagine the outside because I felt all of a sudden I felt like there was something here. Like spirit. No, nothing else. Do you know what I mean? Just spirit.
Yeah. So imagine the doorway out in the garden, like, so you can go through up
just
there.
trying to, you know, I don't pile in to be.
No.
Otherwise we would get maybe too much.
Glints of sunlight are carried. Having made the tour,
Is it?
You're the one.
Oh man, that's that girl again.
Do you know what? I can see her. She's quite slim. She's quite like, I think she had some sort of illness.
Is there a female we're talking to?
How old was Mrs. Naylor?
Mrs. what?
Near her. Don't forget, they will try, but they will use male voices if they're female as well. Because obviously they're using...
Do you have a message
Are
for
we to the base?
Do you have a message for someone? Or do you want help?
Commanding Detective.
I think she gone through a bit.
Trying to work, Miss Naylor?
What?
What's she gonna do?
Yeah. How's your doorway?
When she'll open up there in a minute.
I'll just say thank you.
Sure, I think it did. Sounded like thank you.
Yeah. I did, no problem.
Mark, everything is going.
There you go.
Have gone.
They're gone.
Brilliant! That was awesome!
I literally watched my door close and
I just done mine as well, and they're gone.
They're gone.
Thank
As
you.
I opened them both.
How many went? Can you tell us how many went over, please?
18. You actually have to.
18.
I don't know, it was a team.
Sat at a window every day. Week. Their whole
if you'd given up your business.
Who is giving us this information, please?
Draw to a close shortly. Go for an hour and 10.
Right.
Right, we're going to bring this session to... I'm going to really thirsty as well.
Sure, right away.
Oh, thank you. Is there anything further you want to say before I shut this session down? I think we'll try your new app again, but
Yeah, if you want.
Oh.
no. Alright, thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Right, that was another session. Do you want me to do more sessions on, or us to do more sessions on this channel? I say me because it's probably me who goes live because, yeah, I got the facility to do it. Let us know in the comments of this video, and yeah, I want to say check out our videos. Check out. Sorry, really disorientated now. Orb just went straight past me.
There's a moth there.
Oh fuck! That can go away. Where's it? Where is it?
It's only a moth. It's actually in there.
Oh great!
Don't touch it. So look at it now. Leave it alone. It'll fly away.
A moth in my hair on camera. Do you know how much I hate and despise moths?
I never.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Alright. And you drink nectar, but they can't hurt you.
I know they can't hurt me. I just don't like them.
It'll fly away now. I don't know where it's gone.
Eh?
I don't know where it's gone, but it's gone.
It's gone for my hair.
Yeah.
Right. One for the outtakes, guys. Right, before anything else goes wrong, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. New video up tomorrow. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
Take care, guys.
Love and light.
Yeah, love and light to you all. Take care.